I wanted to do this video for my grandmother and just for seniors in general. And I just wanted to tell you kind of what's going on with her. First, I want to give you a little background information on who she is. My grandmother is 84 years old. She was born and raised in Boston. She had one sister, and when she was 7 years old, her father got pneumonia. While they did have the medication, antibiotics at the time, for some reason they were experiencing a shortage. Might have been the war, I'm not sure. But anyway, they could not get the antibiotics to him in time, and he passed away. After he passed away, the government actually tried to take both my aunt and my grandmother. They said, they didn't feel that a mother could take care of her children, but she fought back. My great-grandmother fought back. She got several jobs. She worked to support them. Unfortunately, she was also pregnant at the time, and the stress of all the work caused her to miscarry. So they had a double funeral for both my great-grandfather and my grandmother's sibling. I can tell it still hurts her to this day to talk about it. I feel she still feels that loss, that she never had a father. But as she got older, they experienced the Great Depression, and she's told me everything about that, just how food was always scarce, and they lived on, what did she say? I think they lived on turnips and potatoes and, the root vegetables, and meat was a very rare thing. Like, only the wealthy ate meat at that point. So she lived through the Great Depression. During World War II, everyone had to work. If you weren't a soldier, if you were a woman, you had a job. And she told me she was a nurse. She also packed up chocolates for the soldiers. She told me about that. And there was a third job she had too, and I can't remember what it was. So anyway, it was a difficult time for everyone. Obviously, everyone worked. She moved from Boston. No, they were in Pennsylvania. She moved from Pennsylvania to Oregon when my father was born, and she's been here ever since. She loves to be here in Oregon. She continued to be a nurse here until she retired a few years ago. And she really didn't want to retire, but anyway, and then it's been a long time, about 5 or 6 years ago, she went on a camping trip, and I guess some of the water, it was well water, and it made her sick, and she got sepsis, and she almost died. It was really scary. She was in the hospital for, I think, several weeks or something, and I was out of state at the time. I had moved a state away, so it was a very scary time. But my grandmother pulled through it, and if you know anything about statistics about seniors and sepsis, generally if you're 60 or over and you get sepsis, you don't live through it, or you die several years, or a few years later, just from, backlash or something. So the fact that she's still alive and active is good. She does, and it's always suffered from low blood pressure, so we've been trying to get that in check. And my grandmother is just like a super giving person. Like, she's slowed down quite a bit with the blood pressure issues, but ever since, she's always volunteered. Like, she volunteers everywhere. I could name, there's so many organizations that she gives her time to, and doesn't expect anything in return, and she's happy to do it because that's the kind of person that she is. And unfortunately, recently, her roof has been caving in quite badly, and if you know anything about Oregon, in the Northwest in general, the rain is horrible. And the recession has hit all of us really hard. We all really want to help her, but right now it's really hard, just for us to, cover the basics. I've been sick for a long time. I have health issues, so just, scraping by is difficult for me, and I'm trying to get my health in check, but I mean, and we got a really great deal for the roof. It's like $7,000, but still it's like $7,000. That's a lot of money right now. And, and everyone that knows my grandmother and wants to help is kind of in the same bind. So it's just, it should be easier. It's like 70 people give $100. It's like, I think almost anyone could do that, but money is tight, and I don't know. I just feel it's a sad situation because we've gone everywhere we possibly can. We've called almost every organization under the sun, even the ones that she's done tons of volunteer work for, and no one can help. I don't understand how seniors can be in this situation. I don't understand how someone who's 80-something and lived through World War II can't get help to stay in her own house. Because it's kind of getting to the point where it's dangerous. But she's just, she loves that house, she's lived in that house for 30 plus years. It's been her home for so long. So I just don't, I don't understand how it's that hard. And I don't understand how they can't send things because she's out of the Portland district. I think she's like a few blocks out. So like if her house was just a few blocks over, she would have assistance. So it boggles my mind. Is this your reward for living to be 80-something, that you have no help and no one can help you because they don't do that type of work, or, none of these organizations that she has put in probably millions of hours over the years can't even try and pull something together. And I've tried so many times, asking around for help for money, and I always come up empty-handed. I don't think it's fair. Seniors in this country deserve better. She worked hard and gave everything she had to everyone. She helped take care of her sister growing up because she was always sickly. I guess she had a large hole in her heart. And later on in her life, they discovered she had cancer, and it reoccurred throughout her entire life until she passed away a few years ago. So I wonder how long she had cancer. And my grandmother always took care of June because she was her sister, and she loved her. And that's just the way my grandmother was. And then she had her own family, and she took care of her 3 children because she loved them. And after that, she was still a nurse during that time, and after that, because she loves people. And then even after she retired, she did so much volunteer work for as many organizations as she possibly could. She told me once, "I'm more busy now than when I had a job because I'm busy with volunteer work and helping people." So she's just that person that's always there. And part of me feels that this is why you see so much selfishness. And I'm not excusing it, but I feel like this is why people say, screw you, and I'm just going to care about myself. Because, you shouldn't expect anything in return. That's what volunteer work is all about, and love. That's what love is doing something for someone, even if it doesn't benefit you. But I feel like there should come a point where, that love is reciprocated. And I don't see it. And I don't know. So many people deserve better. And my grandmother's definitely one of those. And now she's in need, and somehow no one can help her. I'm going to keep trying. I mean, it's just, 70 people, $100. I'm going to keep trying. And I just want her to be able to live out her life in the house that she wants. She's 84 years old. She deserves the last few years of her life to be in that house because that makes her happy. That's her center is that home. It's just, it's what she knows. Can you blame her? Be in your 80s and have someone tell you, sorry, your house is falling apart and you gotta move. It's not fair. I know life isn't fair. I know it's stupid to say that, but it's not right. Life should be kinder to seniors. Life should be kinder to the weak, especially when they've given their life for the weak. So, I don't know. I hope things change for seniors. I'm not stupid. I don't think money just drops out of the sky just because you need it. I know life isn't like that. Trust me, I know life is not like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm just speaking my mind. I just wish things were better for her because she deserves them to be better. So many seniors deserve better than what they got now. They deserve to have a house that's not falling apart and pipes that aren't leaking, and they deserve to not have to worry about food. And that's another concern with my grandmother, and I think she was having food issues and wasn't telling us. So we've been helping her out a lot more. I think we didn't know. So these are not things that seniors should have to worry about. These are American problems. In other parts of the world, the grandparents live with the family, and they work hard until they're elderly, and then they're cared for. And that's how it goes. I know my grandmother will not move in here, and she wants her house. But I just wish we could help her more. I just hope that the future is brighter for, future elderly. I hope things change.